Let's be honest, managing money when every dollar counts feels impossible sometimes. You're not alone if the thought of your next paycheck makes your stomach churn, or if unexpected bills throw your whole month off track. For many students, freelancers, or anyone living on a tight budget, life feels like a constant balancing act. One day you think you're doing okay, the next an emergency pops up and suddenly you're scrambling to make ends meet. Research shows that people with irregular or low income often experience what experts call financial shocks. These are moments when your cash flow suddenly falls short, and the pressure can feel overwhelming. For some, this may mean late fees on bills, skipping meals, or putting off essential expenses, and it chips away at your confidence. It's stressful, it's frustrating, and the truth is it can make anyone feel like they'll never get ahead financially. But here's the twist. Financial stability isn't about how much money you have. It's not about earning a six-figure salary or hitting the jackpot. Stability comes from anticipating your needs, planning carefully, and managing what you already have in a smart, minimalist way. It's about gaining control of your money instead of letting money control you. Think of it as building a safety net, brick by brick, that cushions you from life's inevitable surprises. Minimalist financial stability is different from the hustle culture you see online. It's not about working longer hours, grinding endlessly, or trying to make impossible returns. It's about practical, repeatable systems, small, deliberate habits that reduce stress, protect your future, and give you a real sense of confidence in your finances. In this video, I'm going to walk you through a set of minimalist money rules that can make stability inevitable, even if your income is low or inconsistent. These are grounded in research showing that planning, tracking, and goal setting aren't just good advice. They are some of the strongest predictors of financial security. Even small, consistent actions create a ripple effect that makes you feel more in control, calmer, and prepared for life's surprises. By the end of this video, you'll understand that stability isn't reserved for the wealthy. It's built by those who apply the right strategies consistently, no matter how much money comes in each month. If you've ever felt stressed, anxious, or uncertain about money, this video is for you. Rule number 1 is simple, but it's also the most powerful. Embrace minimalist consumption. At its core, this isn't about denying yourself or living an austere life. It's about making intentional choices with your money, focusing on what truly matters, and cutting out the distractions and unnecessary expenses that silently drain your resources. Think about it. Every small purchase, from a coffee you didn't need to a subscription you barely use, adds up. Minimalist consumption isn't about depriving yourself. It's about buying back your peace of mind. Every dollar spent intentionally becomes a vote for the life you actually want, rather than a life dictated by habit or impulse. Research consistently shows that people who prioritize essential spending and consciously limit unnecessary purchases are far more likely to build long-term savings discipline. This is true regardless of income level. Even if you're earning a modest salary, choosing to spend mindfully creates a ripple effect. Money saved today can go toward debt reduction, emergency funds, or investments that grow over time. The habit of mindful spending is a key predictor of financial stability. So, how do you implement this in daily life? Start small. Audit your monthly expenses. Identify which costs actually bring you value versus which are habitual drains. For example, do you really need all those streaming services, or is one enough? Could you cook more meals at home instead of ordering takeout? Can you postpone buying the latest gadget until you've saved a few months' worth of essentials? Minimalist consumption also teaches you patience. When you remove the constant pull of instant gratification, you regain control over your financial choices. You stop reacting to every marketing tactic or social pressure and start making proactive decisions about your money. Over time, this approach doesn't just save dollars, it reduces stress, creates clarity and reinforces a sense of empowerment. Remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's about progressive refinement. Each time you choose intentionally, you reinforce a pattern of stability that compounds over months and years. By buying back your peace of mind and focusing on essentials first, you're laying the groundwork for long-term financial resilience. Minimalist consumption is more than a habit, it's a mindset. And as we move into the next rule, you'll see how combining this mindset with disciplined allocation methods multiplies its power, making financial stability not just a hope, but a predictable outcome. Rule number 2 is all about how you allocate every dollar you earn. Minimalist consumption sets the stage, but disciplined allocation turns intention into action. Without a system, even mindful spending can slip into chaos. That's why choosing a proven framework for budgeting is essential. It gives structure, accountability, and clarity over your financial life. There are several approaches that work well for minimalist money management. 1. The 50-30-20 rule. This is one of the most straightforward and widely recommended methods. You allocate 50% of your income to needs, things like rent, utilities, groceries, and essential transportation. Then 30% goes to wants, which includes entertainment, dining out, or hobbies. Finally, 20% is reserved for savings and debt repayment. This balance ensures you're covering essentials while still allowing room for enjoyment, all without sacrificing long-term goals. 2. The envelope method. If you prefer a more tangible approach, this method might be perfect. You physically or digitally divide your income into envelopes designated for specific categories: groceries, transportation, entertainment, savings. Once the money in an envelope runs out, that's it for the month. This method teaches discipline, prevents overspending, and keeps you constantly aware of how much you're using in each category. 3. Zero-based budgeting. For those who want maximum control, zero-based budgeting assigns every single dollar a specific purpose. Your income minus your expenses equals 0 at the end of the month. Nothing is left idle and nothing is unaccounted for. This method may take more time to implement, but it's incredibly effective in building awareness, reducing waste, and ensuring that your money always works towards your priorities. The beauty of disciplined allocation is that it doesn't depend on how much you earn. It depends on how intentionally you manage what you have. Even a modest income can stretch further with a structured allocation system, while higher income can be wasted without discipline. By combining minimalist consumption with a strong allocation method, you're no longer leaving your financial stability to chance. Instead, every dollar is a tool strategically placed to reduce stress, cover essentials, and grow your future. This framework turns uncertainty into predictability, and predictability into confidence. As we move into the next rule, we'll explore how tracking and goal setting acts as the anchor, ensuring that these methods are not just theoretical, but produce real, measurable results over time. Rule number 3 is the anchor of financial stability: tracking your spending and setting clear goals. You can practice minimalist consumption and follow a disciplined allocation method, but without tracking and goals, it's easy to drift off course. Tracking gives you awareness. Goals give you direction. Together, they transform good intentions into measurable, lasting results. Studies consistently show a strong positive relationship, up to a 0.72 correlation between diligent budgeting habits and actual financial stability. In other words, people who actively monitor where every dollar goes and set specific financial targets are far more likely to achieve long-term security, regardless of income. It's not about having more money. It's about knowing what you have and guiding it purposefully. Start simple. Use a spreadsheet or budgeting app to record all income and expenses. Track every transaction: groceries, transport, subscriptions, even small coffee runs. Seeing the numbers laid out can be eye-opening. Often, the areas where we overspend aren't obvious until we document them. Awareness alone reduces stress because suddenly your finances stop being a foggy, anxiety-inducing unknown. Next, set realistic, actionable goals. These can be short-term, like saving $100 this month, or long-term, like building a 3-month emergency fund. Goals should be specific, measurable, and time-bound. For example, I will save $50 per week for 3 months to create a $600 emergency buffer. This clarity turns abstract intentions into achievable steps and gives every dollar a clear purpose. Even small progress matters. Maybe your savings start as a few dollars each week, or your debt payments are tiny. That's okay. The act of consistent tracking and incremental progress recalibrates your mindset. You start seeing yourself as capable, responsible, and in control. Over time, these small, consistent steps compound, creating financial resilience that feels almost automatic. Tracking and goal setting also provide a feedback loop. If you notice a category consistently exceeds your budget, you can adjust, reprioritize, or find alternatives. If your savings aren't growing as expected, you can tweak allocations. This adaptability makes financial stability less fragile and more reliable even in uncertain income months. By anchoring your financial decisions in tracking and goal setting, you're not guessing anymore. You're taking deliberate steps, building measurable progress, and giving yourself peace of mind that every dollar works towards your future. Rule number 4 is all about redefining what wealth truly means. Minimalist financial literacy isn't about flaunting income or chasing expensive lifestyles. It's about understanding money as a tool and learning how to use it wisely so that stability, not stress, becomes your default state. Many people think wealth is the size of their paycheck or the number of zeros in their bank account. Research and real-life experience tell a different story. Wealth is measured by your ability to meet your needs, achieve your goals, and sleep at night without money anxiety. Even low-income earners can be wealthy in this sense if they practice control, awareness, and consistent financial habits. At its core, minimalist financial literacy is about education plus application. Knowing the mechanics of budgeting, allocation, and tracking is one thing. Applying them daily is what builds resilience. For example, understanding the power of compound interest is important, but using it consistently, even starting with $10 or $20 per week, gradually grows your emergency fund or investment account. Another key aspect is simplifying your financial landscape. Minimize the number of accounts, subscriptions, or recurring expenses to reduce cognitive load. The fewer moving parts, the easier it is to control, track, and optimize. This simplicity is central to the minimalist approach. It creates clarity, reduces mistakes, and frees mental energy for planning and decision-making rather than constant firefighting. Minimalist financial literacy also reframes setbacks. If an unexpected bill appears or a paycheck is smaller than expected, the educated individual responds with calm, strategic adjustments rather than panic. This mindset, treating money as a system to manage rather than a source of constant stress, is what makes stability inevitable. Lastly, financial literacy is not just a personal skill, it's a life skill. It strengthens your resilience against uncertainty, helps you navigate major life events, and gives you confidence to make choices that align with your values. By mastering these minimalist principles, you're not chasing wealth for the sake of numbers. You're building a life where financial stability, peace of mind, and freedom of choice become your reality. Rule number 5 is the one that truly turns principles into results: consistency. You can follow minimalist consumption habits, allocate your income wisely, and track every dollar. But without consistency, these practices won't create lasting stability. Financial resilience isn't built overnight. It's the product of small, repeated actions over time. Consistency starts with routines. Set a specific time each week or month to review your budget, Track expenses and check progress toward your financial goals. Think of it as a financial maintenance check. Just like servicing a car, it keeps your system running smoothly and prevents small problems from becoming crises. Research shows that the frequency and regularity of financial behaviors, from expense tracking to goal reviewing, have a stronger impact on stability than the sheer amount of money saved. In other words, it's more important to consistently save $10 every week than to occasionally deposit $200 haphazardly. Small, predictable actions create patterns that compound over time, building confidence and control. Consistency also reinforces your mindset. Each time you stick to your minimalist rules, you reinforce the action loop. Action leads to positive outcome, which strengthens your commitment. Over weeks and months, this becomes automatic. Your financial system starts running on autopilot. Bills are paid on time, savings grow steadily, and emergencies are easier to manage. Another key part of consistency is reviewing and adjusting. Life isn't static. Expenses, income, and priorities shift. Being consistent doesn't mean being rigid. It means having a reliable framework that you revisit regularly, tweak where needed, and use to stay aligned with your goals. This flexibility prevents discouragement while ensuring long-term progress. Finally, consistency breeds confidence. When you consistently apply minimalist money rules, you begin to feel in control regardless of financial fluctuations. You're no longer reacting to financial stress. You're managing it proactively. Over time, these steady habits transform uncertainty into predictability, anxiety into assurance, and a low income into a platform of stability. Consistency is the glue that binds all minimalist money principles together. Without it, even the smartest strategies remain theoretical. With it, stability becomes inevitable, and your financial life becomes a space of calm, clarity, and confidence. Rule number 6 is all about turning stability into resilience, the ability to handle life's financial surprises without panic. Minimalist money rules give you a foundation, but long-term resilience is what ensures that stability lasts through every unexpected challenge. One of the most important pillars of resilience is an emergency fund. Research shows that even a modest buffer, like 3 months' worth of essential expenses, drastically reduces stress and improves decision-making in times of crisis. For low-income earners, building this fund may feel slow, but the key is consistency and intentionality. Even saving a few dollars each week compounds over months, creating a safety net that provides peace of mind. Another component is diversifying your financial tools and habits. This doesn't mean risky investments or complicated strategies. It means combining savings, budgeting, and small-scale investments in a way that reduces risk. For example, using high-yield savings accounts, automated contributions to retirement or investment apps, and systematic debt repayment creates multiple layers of financial security. Minimalist principles make this process simpler because they reduce unnecessary expenses, freeing up money to allocate strategically. Resilience also comes from mindset and preparedness. People who anticipate potential financial shocks like sudden medical expenses or irregular income approach money proactively rather than reactively. They plan for contingencies, revisit their budgets regularly, and adjust allocations when life changes. This preparedness transforms anxiety into action and makes stress much easier to manage. Additionally, long-term resilience is built through financial literacy and lifelong learning. Understanding the mechanics of interest, debt, investments, and personal finance empowers you to make smarter decisions. The knowledge itself acts as a buffer against uncertainty. The more you know, the less you rely on luck or guesswork, and the more control you have over your financial future. Finally, resilience is about alignment with your values. Minimalist money rules help you cut out unnecessary distractions, focus on what matters, and direct resources towards meaningful goals. When your spending, saving, and planning reflect your priorities, you're not just financially resilient, you're emotionally and mentally aligned with the life you want to lead. By embracing these principles, you're not simply surviving month to month, you're creating a durable, stress-resistant financial system. Even on a low income, consistent application of these minimalist rules ensures that stability grows stronger, stress diminishes, and you can handle the uncertainties of life with confidence. So let's bring it all together. Financial stability isn't reserved for high earners or those with lucky breaks. It's built deliberately, step by step, through mindful choices and consistent habits. Minimalist money rules aren't about sacrifice or deprivation. They're about clarity, control, and intentional living. We've covered 6 key principles: minimalist consumption, prioritize essentials, reduce distractions, and buy back your peace of mind. Disciplined allocation. Use frameworks like the 50-30-20 rule, envelope method, or zero-based budgeting to give every dollar a purpose. Tracking and goal setting. Monitor your spending and set clear goals to anchor your financial decisions. Redefining wealth. See wealth not as income, but as your ability to meet needs, pursue goals, and maintain peace of mind. Consistency. Build small, repeated habits that compound over time and reinforce stability. Long-term resilience. Create buffers, plan for surprises, and align your finances with your values to withstand life's uncertainties. Here's the truth. Even a modest income can become the foundation for predictable, calm, and confident financial living. The difference isn't luck or opportunity, it's practice. Those who consistently apply these minimalist rules experience less stress, more control, and greater confidence, no matter their starting point. So take a moment today. Review your spending, set one small goal, or reorganize one category of your budget. Each deliberate action reinforces your financial stability and slowly transforms uncertainty into control. Over time, these small steps compound into a resilient financial life, one where stability is inevitable, not optional. Remember, financial literacy is a life skill, and mastering it gives you freedom, security, and peace of mind. Minimalist money isn't about having more. It's about making what you have work smarter, not harder. Start today, be consistent, and watch stability become your new reality.